Hello, too. We're back with this show today of our best year ever in 2020. I know some of you are still questioning whether 2020 is your best year, but we're still calling it the best year because we're surviving and thriving. So today we're talking VA loans. So if you are a military person or a military spouse, this is the show for you. And definitely, if you're thinking about buying, we would love to help you. Hi, Melissa, I see you. I know you're camping out this weekend. I wish I was there with you. I'm Judy Best with eXp Realty. Eric is my son.
Hello.
And he's also with eXp Realty. He's also on our team of Best REI, Best Real Estate Investments. He's our project manager and heir apparent. He hopes one day to own a part of the business. And we hope that he does also. Anyway, today we're talking about, since it's Memorial Day, we thought it was the perfect time to talk about VA loans. While we know Memorial Day is remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice for us, I'm proud that my son served in the Marines. So thank you, Eric, for your service. I know people say that to you a lot.
Yes,
it's all good. Tell them about your Marine experience. Just the highlights.
I enlisted back in 2006. I went to boot camp in San Diego. My first duty station was in Hawaii, which was a great experience.
Honolulu?
Honolulu. Oahu was the island.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2008, 2009, I did a tour to Iraq. August 2008, came back March, February, I think end of February for 2009. And after almost 4 years in Hawaii, I transferred to Kansas City into a recruiting district there. I wasn't a recruiter, but I did help support the recruiters there in a multi-state area there. After at that point, I met my wife and had her first baby, and decided that at the end of that tour, I'd go ahead and hang up my boots and get back into civilian life.
And he was hired by Kroger here locally, so the family transitioned down here. Amy and Olivia, we're so glad they did. And last fall, Eric left Kroger to join us at Best REI as our project manager. And as the time wore on, he decided he also wanted his realtor license. And how long have you had it now? A month, 2?
I think I passed the test, and it was before everything kind of broke out. So it was early March. I passed the test, and it was the end of March. Everything was kind of coming together. So it's been about 2 months.
Okay. So he's a realtor, and we're doing a team together. So anytime you call one of us, you've got the team together. What was your rank when you left the Marines?
I was a sergeant.
Sergeant Best. So one of the things we learned about the Marines is once a Marine, always a Marine. So Eric is still a Marine.
Yes, ma'am.
Still celebrates the Marine birthday. He has 2 birthdays now, and we were very proud of his service, and I know that he has good memories of that and great friends from it still, right?
Yes, it was definitely a very great experience in my life. Make me who I am today. I have a lot of people I keep up with via Facebook, some phone calls here and there, and it's definitely you make some very strong connections in that time frame.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, we would like to know about your service too. If somebody in your family has served or you have served, drop in their name and what what branch of the Marine military they were in. Roger's dad, Eric's grandpa, also served in the Navy. And so he was always proud of his Marine grandson. And I think that's all we have in our immediate family, right? Anybody else?
I think that's all. I think that's it.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about VA loans. So have you ever gotten a VA loan? We would like to know if you have. So tell us yes, and how many years do you have it? Eric, I know you had a VA loan.
Yes, it was back in, I guess, 2016, I think it was.
So you're 4 years in on it.
4 years, that sounds right.
Okay.
I secured a VA loan. I bought a home in Maumelle, Arkansas. I still own the home. I have a tenant in there now, but it was
renting it out.
Went through that whole experience because whenever I moved with Kroger, I rented it out, and they tell tenant in there now. So, it was definitely a good experience going through the VA loan, and I think it's a great option for veterans out there who are looking to buy a home but maybe don't have a lot of money to put down on the for a down payment.
Oh, down payments and closing costs are very expensive, and the VA is trying to give this benefit to veterans and military people. So the VA loan is a zero down payment mortgage option that's available to veterans, service members, and certain military spouses. The VA loans are issued by private lenders, but they're backed by and guaranteed by the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. So the cool thing about this is because the VA backs a certain portion of the loan, the requirements to get a VA loan aren't quite as steep as other loans. And usually the interest rate is a little lower than what some of the loans are. So did you feel like it was the process was difficult to get a VA loan?
No, if you work with I worked with a USA, when I got my mortgage through USA, which is a military
USA lender.
Yeah, lender, and they made the process real easy because they want your business for one, mm-hmm. And if you work with somebody who's done VA loans before, they're going to help you jump you through some of the hoops that you typically are going to have to go through. So certificate of eligibility is typically that one hurdle you got to get through. But USA really kind of took that process over for me, and I know there's other mortgage lenders out there that do VA loans all the time that would do that probably do the exact same thing. It's probably not just special to USA, but I know for me it was USA. They helped secure that. They were able to make the right phone calls, and all of a sudden, within no time, the certificate of eligibility was there. And then it's really just turns into a normal process. The VA loan is just a process where they once they determine you're eligible and then you can qualify for the loan, mm-hmm. Then it just turns into a normal process almost.
What everybody else does.
Yeah. So there is an extra, extra step for, after you make an offer, get an offer accepted, the VA is going to go in there and do an extra inspection on the home. But again, that's really kind of seamless to what you're doing. And if it happened for me, it's not even something that I was involved in. It just, it happened. So I guess, and they found nothing, but.
Yeah, the VA loan, they do have they call it an appraisal inspection. In addition to the home inspection you do, we always recommend that you do your own inspection because the VA inspection is not as in-depth as the regular home inspection. So we do still recommend that you do your regular inspection, but the VA comes in at the end because they're backing a portion of that loan and they want to make sure that the home is worth what you've offered. So they're going to make sure you're not overpaying for it. So that's a comfort for people who are using a VA loan. They're going to make sure you don't overpay, and they're going to make sure the house is safe. So they're going to make sure that all the safety measures are in place. You probably heard, they want handrails anytime there's a stair. They want a pan underneath the hot water. They don't want any peeling paint. They want you to move into that house and be so comfortable with it. So that's a big thing. So here's a few things about VA loans. Let's just cover them again. There's a zero down.
Zero down. That's really the top benefit right there for a VA loan. You get to come to closing without paying a down payment. You still have the closing costs typically involved, but that's again, something that can be negotiated with which is probably more often negotiated than not at this point with all loans, with a lot of buyers. And it's, where you have the closing costs paid by the seller, and it's, at that point you come to, you can come to closing with nearly empty pockets and walk away with.
You want to have enough to move, but
Right.
you can use your money that you've been saving to move and to buy the furniture and appliances you need for the home. And that's a real big plus. A conventional loan, you usually need 20% down. There are some other loan options that are zero down. So if you're not in the military, still want to buy with a zero down, reach out to one of us, because we definitely can connect you with a lender who has some zero down options.
No military service required. We can get you there.
Absolutely. Either way about it. But if you're a veteran, my Marine or I, either one, would love to help you get your house. There's no private mortgage insurance required with a VA loan because it's backed by the government, and they're providing that protection to the lender. On a conventional loan, they're going to ask for private mortgage insurance to make sure that if you default, then they have something to fall back on. We hope that you never default, that you always have your home and you're happy in it. So that's our goal, is to find you your dream home.
Absolutely.
There's competitive interest rates. I don't know what yours locked in at, but they're usually a little bit lower than the conventional stuff that's happening out there. And we'll talk later about locking in your rate, because that's coming up too. You want to take the last point, Eric?
Easier to qualify. The government's backing this loan, so there's any loan you get these loans through there's no special place you go to get the loans. You go to the same place you're getting your conventional loans to get a VA loan. And these obviously the number one factor that banks and loan qualifier people who qualify you for a loan are looking for is that risk averse. And the thing about it is if they know with a VA loan, if they provide this loan, and they've shown that you're eligible for that VA loan, then all of a sudden it becomes more risk adverse, because all of a sudden the government's taking on the risk, not the financial lender. So they're willing to, they're able to make you a better deal. It comes in the terms of, that's why they're able to do no down payment. That's why you can get a lower interest rate.
Yes.
And it's because it's risk adverse. It's more risk adverse. There's obviously no situation where it's no risk, but but having the U.S. government, backing that loan will give the banks and lenders the confidence to take care of those veterans in that moment.
Right. Okay. Now, if you're watching this now or by video later, drop us a note of who in your family has served in the military. We'd still like to hear what branch of the military they were part of, and what their path was. There are several types of people who are eligible for VA loans. One qualification is that you served 90 consecutive days of active service during wartime. So if you were in the military and you served a tour of duty at least 90 days during wartime, you are eligible for a VA loan, probably. If you served 181 days of active service during peacetime, you are also eligible. You want to hit the last two?
If you serve 6 years of service in the National Guard or Reserves, you're eligible. And the last one is if you are a spouse of a service member who has died in the line of duty, and that's what today is all about, or as a result of a service-related disability,
that spouse would be eligible.
That spouse is eligible.
Yeah. So we were talking about the certificate of eligibility just a minute ago. Now VA lenders pretty much can go online to the VA's online system, and they can pull that down instantly. So you don't have to do the legwork. You don't have to reach back into the military. We have lenders we can refer you to who are specialized in VA, who can get that certificate of eligibility and get you headed straight down that path. If this is something you would be interested in talking to us about, type VA loan down in the comments, and one of us will reach back out to you, because we would love to help you get started on this path. VA loans do have a certain credit score you need to have, but that varies from lender to lender because it's a lender thing. It's not a Department of Veteran Benefits thing. So the most vendors are typically requiring around 660 right now, and that may change in the weeks to come because it's not locked in at that. It could go lower, it could go higher. It kind of goes back and forth. But if you don't have that highest score, but you would like to get a VA loan, we also have members of our team who will help you fix your credit so that you can get that again.
Typically, the process of fixing your credit is often a lot of times faster than you think it is.
True.
If a lot of people I think are veer away from
seeking help,
from trying to fix it because they think it's forever ways away. Whenever oftentimes you can get it fixed in a couple months, 3 months, with just some really smart moves.
Yeah.
Especially if you're real close. And depending, obviously, the wider the gap, the longer it's going to take. But it's never going to move in the right direction if you don't take that first step. So.
And I will tell you that trying to do it yourself can make it worse, not better, because we tend to think we just start paying things off. And as soon as I get everything paid off, my credit score will go up. Paying everything off can hurt your credit score, not help it, because they like to see that you have credit and that you are able to manage your credit. So they want you to still have a margin of credit that you're working through continually. And that's what our team members can help you with. So don't hesitate to reach out, because we have people who start working and they are ready to go in 3 to 6 months. Other people, it can take them up to a year or more to get their credit perfect. But if you don't start today, you'll still be struggling with it 4 years from now. So that's a big thing. The VA does require borrowers to maintain a certain amount of income left over each month on their expenses. So they're comparing your income to your monthly expenses, and they're making sure you have enough money to have a mortgage.
I think they're still looking for that, basically what percentage of your income going to go towards that, that monthly payment for the home. So you're talking about 25 to 35% is typically, I think, what they're looking for. I think 25%, I think 35% is probably a little bit more common, but looking for you to have people no more than 35%, maybe, somewhere around that range of your income going towards your payment of your home, which is honestly in your best interest. You don't really want to start having half your income go to your housing, because then you don't have a whole lot left over for all the other things that you're going to spend.
Can you I know you know more about basic allowance for housing because you've served in the military. So can you kind of cover how that can benefit somebody with a VA loan?
Yes, obviously people who are actively in the military, actively serving in one capacity or another, are afforded housing. Now, if they don't provide you an actual house, they provide you an allowance for housing. Mm-hmm. It's based on the area you live at. So it's going to be based off of the average rent, or I think they go by an average rent price in that area, and that's basically what's going to be your basic allowance of housing going to be. So that
your allowance for housing in Oahu was very high, wasn't it?
Yeah, whenever in Hawaii, I was provided housing there, but the if they didn't provide me housing,
the families,
for an average family, probably in low rank, because it also goes by rank. So the higher your rank goes, your basic allowance for housing goes up. But in Hawaii, it was going to be like basic allowance for housing was like over $2,000 a month.
Yeah. So, but that can count toward your monthly income. That helps balance out that income to expenses if you're an active military member. Of course, if you're a past military, there's none of that you can count toward it. But
right, if you don't have the income given in,
yeah,
can't. I used to get this.
You missed that.
Yeah.
So but this is real easy to do. You figure out if you're eligible, and we shared some of the eligibility. If you have a question about that, reach out to us. We can connect you with a VA lender. And that's important too. And there's many. USAA is one. And a lot of military people do a lot with USAA, but I will tell you that if you're with USAA, you should still double check your insurance. You should still double check your lender rates, because they may not be the lowest insurance and they may not be the lowest interest rate.
I just switched off of USAA for my insurance to someone local who were friend of where they were pretty close. I think I got a slightly better deal with them, so it was a no-brainer for me going to somebody I knew handling my insurance. But the USAA for years was also great, and they have very competitive rates too. But they're not the only dog in town.
So we just encourage you to keep checking out.
Oftentimes in the military, your USAA or some of the I know. When for Marines, it was USA, Navy Fed, and Pacific Marine. I think it's the one they, set everybody up with in boot camp. And a lot of people switch over to Navy Fed or USA. And, then when I get out, that's what they're used to. So they just kind of stick with it. Again, USA, I've still got, do most of my banking with USA. And they're great, but there's other dogs in town, and it's always good to support a local business and someone that who's in these businesses, because you know exactly where your money's going at that point as well.
Yeah.
So,
and once you find your VA lender, they'll pull your certificate of eligibility and they'll give you your letter, your pre-qual letter. And that shows anybody that you want to make an offer to that you are eligible to get a loan, that they have already determined that based on limited facts, you are eligible. And then once you make the offer for the home, that's when you kick in the last step of the VA loan. You have to finish your loan application with the lender.
I remember that qualification letter. They had it set up where I could, manually put in the amount, because they had an amount where it's like, okay, you're eligible up until this amount. But if I made an offer down here, I could just put that as the amount available, so that when I was submitting it, they didn't know that I could qualify for more.
Be eligible for more, because you don't want the seller to think I can push the price back up. You want them to know that this is what I'm eligible for. You finish it by giving them your W-2s and all your tax returns and other financial information, and they finalize the mortgage and they give you a clear to close. In the meantime, you've had your home inspection, you've lined out your home insurance, you've had your bank appraisal and your VA appraisal and inspection, and your title company's been working on making sure there's a clear title for you to close on and move into your new home. So it's just like Eric said earlier, it's just like any other home purchase. And one of the myths that we'd like to bust right now is that you only can have one VA loan at any given time. There is an amount that you are eligible to get as a service member or as a veteran. And as long as you don't go over that amount, you can get multiple VA loans, and you can have, like Eric has now, a renter in his first home, and he's now looking for his next home and is excited about applying for a VA loan again. Of course, you probably want to check and see what else you're eligible for other than VA loans, because a VA loan may not be the best deal for you, especially if you're wanting to get a fixer-upper. Fixer-uppers are not good for VA loans because they want the house to be pretty good shape.
If you got the money for a down payment, I don't know that I'd recommend a VA loan. Honestly, there's other options that might. But VA loan's great for those who don't have a down payment option and don't want to pay that private mortgage insurance.
Keeps your payment lower.
So that's an option, but there is an origination fee in there or something that's So if you have money for a down payment, it's gonna give you some instant equity in that house, which is also a great thing. And so I would definitely recommend. Now again, if like Mom said, if you think you might be, if you already got one VA loan out there, you think you want to get another house for one reason or another, don't just assume you can't do it.
Right.
Worst case, give a call and then find out worst case you hear at that point is no. You got to come up with a different option, but rather get that no in person rather than just assume.
Right. Now, VA interest rates can vary several times in a day. hour by hour even. So you won't know what your rate is until you've made that offer and it's been accepted. At that point, your lender will lock in your interest rate that's available then, and it will for 30, 60 days, however long it takes to get your house closed. Usually it takes from 3 to 6 weeks. Right now, that can be a little longer because of the virus, but your rate is locked in for that period, so you know that it will happen. We would encourage you, if you are interested in buying a home, to reach out to us. We're going to be having a future homeowners seminar in the near future, and it's going to be online, but we would love for you to ask for an invitation to that home buyer seminar. So if you're interested in that, drop in home buyers seminar in the comments, and we'll make sure you get an invitation to that. If you have any questions about the VA loans, the VA process, drop it in the comments, and we will be watching these over the coming days. Do we have anything else we want to say about that at this point?
I remember that when I got my VA loan, I thought it was a great experience. Again, I went to USA, but there's other ways to do. You can go with other people. My only recommendation I would say with that is make sure you are talking to somebody who's dealt with it before, so they can kind of navigate the waters on that. So you don't have to try to navigate. You don't want someone to be on a learning curve on it, but generally most lenders have dealt with VA loans. It's a pretty common deal. It's a great experience to take you to that point where you can own a home. I mean, and oftentimes as a veteran, you get out and you want to own a home. You feel like everybody else, and you've been moving around a lot, and now you're settling down, and you also haven't been getting paid and been getting rich in the military, so you don't have a down payment, necessarily in the bank. So this is a great thing that the government's put out there to show support to the people who are fighting for the country, and I think it's a great opportunity, great thing for you to do to realize that home ownership dream.
Yes. So whether you're living in the Little Rock area now, the Central Arkansas area, or you're perhaps relocating here, because we have a couple of bases here, we would love to be your realtors. Judy Best and Eric Best, we're the best team, and we would love to help you buy your next home, or help you sell it if you're relocating out of the area. We have another team member who's working on her license right now, and she is a member of the Air Force Guard. And so we'll have another team member that will be able to help you too. And we're excited that we're going to have this well-rounded experience to help you guys. So that's all we have for today. If you are looking to buy a house or sell your house, we'd love to hear from you, because we are doing it. We're helping people right now buy and sell houses, and we're doing it safely. We're being cautious for everybody's sake, because there's no reason not to move forward, and the rates are still very low. If you are a veteran, if you have a VA loan now and you have not refinanced it, rates are very low right now, and we can refer you to a lender where you could refinance and lower your interest rate. So that's another one of our team members can help you with that. We have a whole team of people, from the title person, the inspection people, lenders, insurance people, credit repair, and of course our realtor team. We do it all. So don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we would love to be working with you. The two things about a home is your must-haves and location, location, location. Where do you want to be located? What do you have a neighborhood? We have a home for sale right now in the Overbrook neighborhood, and we are finding that to be hugely popular. It's about 2 blocks walk on safe streets to get to the community pool and spa. So it's pool and spa, pool and park.
Got that.
Overbrook.
School's not too far from there either.
Yeah. So Eric is ready to help anybody. We're showing a house this afternoon to Eric's sister, my daughter, and her service member husband. He was in the Air Force, and so he's working on finding a house, and he's going to be getting a VA loan soon. So thank you guys for joining us today. This is all of the best year ever in 2020 show about VA loans today. Next week, my guest will be Kimberlyn Lacey, and we'll be talking about the inside of homes. Thanks for joining us today. Ciao for now. We're going to go have a cookout.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Talk to you later.